Hey everybody, it's JJ Conway. I'm here for a very brief morning tea before we roll into our Black Veterans Brunch. If you are here for the Juneteenth Legacy Conference, I want to encourage you, if you are a veteran or a veteran serving institution, to go out to JuneteenthLegacy.com and go ahead and click on the Black Veterans Brunch ticket and get your Black Veterans Brunch ticket. It is absolutely no cost, but we are restricting it to veterans and veteran serving organizations, and it will be a closed session via Zoom. All right. So today's morning tea, I'm going to start off with a little video. We've been talking all week about the disparities in healthcare and education and what's been observed from some as another form of plantation in sports and entertainment. And a lot of the examples that have been brought up are situations like Mike Tyson. And many of us know 400 and something $1 million net worth, was bankrupt, and then rebuilt his life and selling pictures of himself biting your ear off on the streets of Las Vegas for $250 a pop. I mean, he's not doing the worst out there, but it's always interesting to hear about his life. And so there's a couple of things that we can pull from his experience. And then I've got some new information that you may not have heard about how he ended up buying all those cars and all those things in the first place. It's actually really fascinating. And I'm going to just go ahead and give attribution right now. We are pulling clips from other channels. You should be able to see those channels in the show notes. You should be able to see those channels in the show notes. You can go ahead and watch the clips for yourself. All right, let me go ahead and roll this first one.
Made around 400 million during your career?
I don't know. It could have been.
Okay.
Wait. Spending.
Stop. First of all, let me go back and do that again. Hold on.
Made around 400 million during your career?
I don't know. It could have been.
Okay, first issue, he didn't know how much he was making. He didn't pay attention to how much he was bringing in. All right, that's the first issue with Mike Tyson in our little case study this morning.
Yet end up spending more than you made, and at one point were like 50 million in debt.
Yeah, that was amazing too. But
how does that happen?
Just being reckless.
Okay, so the other one is he didn't know how much he was bringing in, and he didn't know how much was going out. And so having been I still am not having been in the past, but being the parent of an athlete, one of the things that I understand is that when people are in their zone of genius, if money and finances and the finer details of outside areas are not their zone of genius, it's really not a thing. It's not something we're paying attention to. The only time we pay attention to it is when we don't have it. Right now, that's not my personality, but I'm coming to understand it when I see life play out for young people that I care about, my son and others like him. Okay, who are athletes or they're musicians or they're other things where their talents lend to making lots of money, but if they're not paying attention to what's going out and what's coming in, they might do as Grant there asks, you spent more than you made and ended up with all this debt. Okay, and he says he was being he was being reckless. Here's a little bit more to that.
Young and foolish stuff, and really not caring.
And that's a big one. That's a big one for a lot of us who are making money, having fun, making money, doing something that we love. A lot of times we're not even worried about that. And I know some of you listening to me are like, well, how could you not care about that? How could you not worry about that? Well, because let's hear what Mike Tyson says. Instead of hearing what I say, let's hear what Mike Tyson says.
Not caring or not having the sort of, we talked yesterday about role models and having the support system.
I never had a good support system, right. So what?
Okay, and so another one that he says is support system. So I thought I had clipped it where he talks a little bit more about that he was just living his life, right? He was just living his life. The money was coming in, the money was going out. He was having fun. He was making money. He was just living. Livin. Okay, and so we see a couple of things here that is very important, that if we have talented young people in our lives, that we mentor them to understand that they need to spend less than they make and invest the rest. They need to understand what they're making. They need to understand what they're spending, and they need to spend less than they make, so that when the time of their prime and their skill set runs out, whether it's entertainment or other things. And I know nobody ever wants to think that their time is going to run out, that their prime is going to run out, that their strength is going to run out. We're going to be there forever, right? But one thing that I saw years ago, I was fellowshipping with a church. I was TDY in their location for 6 months, and they had somebody there who had been a professional singer in her past, in her youth. And she still loved to sing, but she was getting on in age and her body was failing in many ways. And sometimes she would get up to sing, and every so often she could still hit those notes, but for the most part, it didn't sound very good at all. Really, like I can't sing, and she sounded worse than me. Not because she sounded bad, but because the vocal cords just had deteriorated so badly. And I remember feeling really bad for her and asking the Lord to bless her and encourage her, because you could tell that the loss of her gift was really just breaking her heart. And I asked the Lord to help me, to be a blessing to her and to help me understand a little bit better what she's going through, so that I can be more compassionate, because I could feel frustrated as a young person. I was kind of young back then, and I was just like, really, how come we have to listen to her sing every service? She cannot sing. Y'all, I'm much older and wiser now, and I'm glad I never voiced that opinion. But if anybody knew me back in the day, well, it still happens today. My face basically tells you what I'm thinking. Even after 20 something years in the military, my face still reveals it. If my mouth doesn't say it, my face surely will, right? But I'm much more older and wiser now, and I understand that we don't ever think we're going to decline. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to have one or two choices. You either leave here before your time, or your health and strength are going to decline. And when I got that answer in prayer, that led me to think about, how can I put processes in place today that would allow me to live on in perpetuity, or that allow me to make money when my strength fails, that would allow me to still be in the game of what I love to do when I can't physically do it anymore. All right, let me finish out this Mike Tyson clip
Spend
here. This is really surprising.
$240,000 monthly in just walking around money,
I'd
nearly
like that.
$100,000 a month on jewelry and clothing, more than $400,000 on pigeons and cats.
Wait. Who's buying pigeons? Need to go do some. I know that this guy Grant Benslinger, he is known for doing his research. So if he's all that money on pigeons and cats, whoa, okay then.
Did you think that just the money would never run out?
I don't know. That's just how I live my life. When I was living my life back then, that's just wow, that's even hard. When you mention things, wow, that's even hard. I don't even fathom that. I don't even think I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah. Now here's another interesting thing. We kind of talked about some of as we look at our Mike Tyson case study, we looked at some of the things where he didn't know he was taking in, he didn't know what was going on, he was just living, he was just doing his thing. But here's something that he gets criticized a lot for, and that's these cars.
$4.5 million on automobiles and motorcycles. Give automobiles to 15 women and 2 men.
Woo.
Once crashed your Rolls Royce and told cops to keep it.
Wow. So we think it's really easy to hear those stories, but listen to some backstory about these
I can
vehicles.
go into a Bugatti store, right? In 84, 85, 86, when I was making money, so I go in there and say, hey, how much that car cost? $2 million. Okay, I'm coming back. Boom, I give him $2 million. Boom, in cash. And it's legal.
This is from Joe Budden.
In 86,
Yeah.
King of the Castle.
No, cash was
Okay, so what we're seeing here, we're seeing some backstory to all these cars. Okay, he was going in and buying them in cash, but listen to the rest of this. Listen to why he was buying these in
king.
cash.
I was the king of the castle. The cash was king. Everybody, all the billionaires started, Trump was blowing up, everybody had money. And before you could launch till 84 came around. 80,
really?
87, 86.
So now we get some more pieces to the puzzle. See, if anybody is like me, older than you look, you might remember the savings and loan scandals of 87, 85 or so. There were so many ways that people were able to legally launder money, and this is one of them.
Yeah. I used to do it all the time for my friends. They give me some money, I buy a car for them. They give me more money than the car costs, and I will buy them the car.
Wait, you can't do that today?
No.
Okay, we're gonna skip over the fact that you can't do that today, but we're gonna also think about the fact that this is what he was doing to help launder his money. Now, I am running out of morning tea time. I need to go ahead and get set up for the Black Veterans Breakfast, but real quick, I just want to highlight this clip from our station, not our, I'm not on it anymore, but I was on it for a while, and I'm looking forward to being back on it again. Fly Nubian Queen. I love this discussion about our youth and why our youth are so uneducated.
Just letting kids pass for no reason. And you make them sound it out, but if they spelled cat with a K, oh, good. It still sounds like cat.
Well, now
China
look,
and-
hold on before we get to the next point, because the next point is another juicy one too. Y'all, having been in the school system, I am so sick and tired of people just passing along these kids, passing along these kids, passing along these kids. And by these kids, it's not just Black kids, it's also very rural poor kids. And what we find is that a lot of people are passing along kids because it takes more work to fix the problem than to do anything about it. And nobody is getting paid enough at that level to care about it. And the establishment doesn't care about it. Because guess what? If you're uneducated, guess what they get to do with you? Pay you low wages to make them very wealthy. All right. Well, I have more I want to say on this, but I really got to get going to the Black Veterans Brunch. That's going to be held via Zoom. If you're not already registered for that, go ahead and go out to JuneteenthLegacy.com, scroll down to your tickets and click that Black Veterans Brunch. I'm going to go into the Zoom now. I'm going to get that started, and then I'm going to send out one last reminder email to everybody who's registered. All right, y'all, take care. Be blessed.